Hey guys, this is Celestia of Harry, and this is a bi-monthly Zoom, the second ever, and I'm joined again by our regulars and lovers of the Zencleanz alongside myself, Matt Sena.
Hey everybody.
Yo, Matt, and Crystal and Nick. How you guys? So thank you all for joining me today. I think we had a great discussion, guys, last time. Actually, it was just us three with Healthy Keith, and I found it really interesting. So, is there anything you want to bring to the table with Zencleanz that's on your mind with it? We can talk about so many things with Zencleanz.
Right. Yeah.
What about, I don't know, what about the new products?
Yep, we can talk about that. I know a little bit. I can share what I know and what people are telling me.
Yeah, you've tried the lung one, right? Are you in the middle of that one, or is it
Yes.
complete?
Okay, so I'll just tell all of you that I'm inconsistent. I get lazy and I do a load of things, and sometimes connection with people is more important. I get carried away and lose focus. So I bought the lungs one, and I've used the 28 days. I've used about 7 or 8 days of them. Today I took it without having been on a run, and as soon as I took the lungs, the one that's like a syrup that gets kind of stuck in your mouth, I noticed my lungs, like, it's really weird. Like, as soon as you take it, it just affects the organ that it says it's going to do. The only thing I could feel when I took the syrup was my lungs, and it kind of feels like you want to cough, but I didn't need to cough. That makes any sense. So I know, and I took the other one too. There's something very powerful with the lung detox when you commit to every day. I can only imagine what it does for the lungs. If I'm getting this result from just taking it sporadically, like.
Well, that's really good for you too, because Gemini is the respiratory system.
Ah.
So they need extra work on the respiratory.
Does that mean the Gemini's weaker in lungs?
Well, kind of both usually.
Yeah, it depends upon other aspects, but they could be. Either way, a focus is their lungs and breathing.
Right. Well, what I like about the lungs one is it's 28 days, and you do first in the morning, you do the syrup thing. The second in the morning is like a little bottle you take, which is easy. And the third thing you do at nighttime is a herbal tea. You just do the powder, and most people take teas anyway. So it's like 1, 2, 3. So the Zencleanz one obviously is, well, we all know this. It's really intense for the day. You need to be ready to the toilet. You need to do your sachets every hour. It's like, but this one, I like it easy sometimes. So they all do different timelines and different things.
Right.
That's really good.
So say you're not being consistent, is that
correct?
Like,
yeah.
How do you think that will like play into it? Like, would it work better, do you think, if you were consistent? Or do you think you're still getting the same results as if you were to be consistent?
Don't know.
I mean, it's hard to say.
I don't know. I guess the program's designed to be, if you're consistent, you're going to get a wow at the end of the month. But to be honest, like I'm saying, I get a wow every time I take one of them. So I know it's doing something. So I can only imagine if you did 28 days in a row of like following the protocol. But like I said, the test for me is the lungs. Oh, sorry, Matt.
Yeah. Well, do you feel more nourished too?
That lungs feeling is quite nice. I don't feel uncomfortable. And yeah, I do feel less hungry a little bit. I'm doing a lot of things, don't get me wrong, but yes, I think there's a link there between hunger and, nourishment's a good word. I do feel
right, like when our tissues have the fuel, the vitamins, and are kind of good for a while, like they'll make us less hungry. Like if our tissues don't need things, right, we're not going to be craving, we get often particular cravings because we're craving that particular nutrient or something like that. And I think it's such a broad spectrum food supplement. Zencleanz, whatever you're deficient in is going to be getting a dose no matter what product you use for overall nutrition. It's just so compact nutritionally, right?
Yeah, I like that. Can I ask all of you a question? And I think you've all heard this from people that do Zencleanz One. So a guy under me did Zencleanz One recently, and he was a bit feeling bad about himself because he said he ate junk food straight after, or either actually during it or right after. I supported him, and my opinion is it's okay. Is that the same opinion that you guys share? Like, what happens if you fuck up? What is a fuck up when you're doing Zencleanz and you eat some bad food?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. That was my initial feeling when you said that. Whatever. Because it's really not just one bad meal that screws us up. It's like 30 years of bad meals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I did find that not eating after like purging and then still continuing the fast for both of us, if we didn't eat, we weren't able to like eliminate as much as if we were to eat
Interesting. Yeah.
like in the early afternoon or whatever of that second day.
I really got hungry the morning after my first Zencleanz One, and
yeah.
I had a huge smoothie, and then I was able to pass what I had released, and that's why I was feeling that clearly, is because my my whole system just wanted to move that on out. Of course it did. So yeah.
Oh, so you guys are saying that like because it pulls so much stuff out, and yes, it does it by itself, but sometimes it could do with a little help, aka something like a juice or something to push it along.
Yeah.
This sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Peristalsis itself, right? It's not even like pneumatic pressure, it's just activation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. A big thing is the debate between what's the product coming out and what's the mucoid and what's the ratio. Because you do consume a lot of those jelly drinks.
You do. And people have seen jelly in the toilet, and some have questioned me and said that's just that's just the product and not the Zencleanz. So what's your opinions on that?
For me, I think like you can kind of tell a difference. Like, you know, you look at the product before it goes in, and it has that jelly, like tannish brown consistency, and there is some of that same stuff that comes out. But along with that, there's also these like rope looking things, which is obviously not the product.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course the product's going to come out because we put it in, and you know, it's not going to get stuck in there.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And also the gauge and how you feel too, right? I mean, everyone feels so much better, not during, like a lot of the times, but afterwards it feels like a very deep healing cleanse. Like often like you've done a fast with just water for a few weeks or a week, which is cool. But then if you do the Zencleanz, I find, you know, it's just an easy shortcut to fast.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love those short little like 1 day fasts that, you know, you just get it over with quick. And yeah, like with the liver cleanse, I know with the Zencleanz liver cleanse, you have to fast longer, but we also do this protocol where it's just a 1 day fast liver cleanse and eliminate a lot as well.
Oh, that's good.
You would say worth it to do that every time for just about anybody? Fast a whole day prior to any of these cleanses? Or, I mean, again, it's not necessary, of course, but what do you think?
Maybe not like a whole day, but like, I mean, just like during the whole like process.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting because I've also, one person that criticized me for trying it and said he didn't get any results, said he'd been eating clean for 10 years, vegan, or for many years, and he'd fasted the week before and hardly ate anything and then didn't get any results. And I mean, like you said, Matt, I agree. It's not necessary because this is designed for people that are completely new to detox world, that are completely toxic and vaccinated or whatever, because I'll get banned for saying that. But yeah, it's toxic. And all of a sudden they do this and they get results. But also people that are in the communities that are working hard on our health, like us four here, we get results from it too. And my gripe, and I don't know if it's my shadow or not, is I find it a little bit irritating when people say, oh, I'm pure, I've eaten vegan raw for 4 or 5 years and I don't need this stuff because I've already pulled out all I need to do, when that's just not true. And Nick's brought me to that attention, that because, you know, you get results from being clean. We all get results. Doesn't matter the level of cleanliness.
Oh yeah, we're all full of it. We're not really getting a lot of it out with as much money and devotion and stuff we pour into us. We're still like 80% the same until our eyes turn blue.
Yeah,
we're full of shit.
And even those blue-eyed people out there, if you look closely, they're not completely blue. They have the white.
Right.
And
yeah,
the
lymphatic congestion.
Yeah, that's lymph.
And then right around the pupil, they have the stomach, darkened stomach and intestine area too, typically.
Yeah.
So until it's like completely pure blue.
Does that include Asians? What about people in my color skin? Do they need?
I mean, there are true brown.
I
there
haven't
are
figured
true
it out.
brown out there, but
Okay.
yeah,
They say
I-
there's true brown, but I've looked at eyes that are true brown, I thought at least. I'm not an expert on the iridology, but there's like blue back in there. You see a speck of green. People will think they have brown
Wow.
eyes their whole life, but there'll be like, you know, some green coming through, which shows it's blue in the background.
Wow.
Whoa.
Uh,
I like that because I do think that we have endless detox here, and there's just no excuse not to be on powerful stuff for the rest of your life because, hello, we're all being poisoned all the time. Even if you don't,
Yeah.
you want to go pure with your food, which isn't pure anymore. Because, like, I mean, I remember me and Matt talking about it, and they probably do irradiate all the fruits into your country when you import, and it's got no enzymes in it and nutrition or hardly any. I mean,
That's why
really-
urine therapy is so important for a continuous enzymatic life. I think, you know, that's your main source of living, because literally the fruits and vegetables that should be like juicy and enzymatic, they're all irradiated.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we talked about, Matt, potentially the box is probably irradiation proof, hence why the enzymes stick around. These
Oh, it definitely is. We took it apart a little bit and it's got a mesh inside of it. It's brilliant. It's got a metal mesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Why would they
Mhm.
do that if that doesn't sound very cost effective unless
Doesn't
it has a
sound
real
very.
no, unless
Yeah.
there's a purpose behind it.
I mean, think about it. Enzymes, radiation, it's a known thing. Yeah.
wow. Yeah, plus all the chemicals. It's like I think there's about 2,000 chemicals in clothing. So you know, all that you're ingesting.
and
Wow.
the air, and we're
And
all
the air.
constantly breathing.
And then you got your socks, shoes, your furniture, your house made with all your cheap plaster, glue, varnishes. And it's just all like if you were to zoom in, you'd be able to see your house just disintegrating and you'd be breathing it in.
Good Lord.
The mold isn't even what's really toxic in those situations, Nick. You know that? Like, it's the freaking house that's degrading, and the mold is just there. But what really is making people sick is the houses, not even that black mold. And everybody thinks they got black mold issue. It's
Yeah.
the house itself. I mean, look, the bacteria wouldn't be the mold wouldn't be there without the dirty, poison terrain. But still, you can't actually make somebody sick with an isolated black mold chunk. It doesn't work.
Wow, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That's
Oh my
interesting.
God.
Plus the 6G, plus 20G, is it? 20G will be around in a few years' time. So
Oh yeah, they're
you're
bragging
fucked.
about it. Whatever. It's for the project.
Oh no.
But yeah, by the way, so I don't know the answer to this question. Like the kidneys might be out at some point. I want to try them. The kidneys, I haven't tried the lymph. I've got a friend who's brought under me that's on the lymph tomorrow, and someone that had cancer that's got the lymph because she has a lymph cancer or something. So I don't know. I'm eagerly waiting from these people. I'll contact them. But yeah, I don't know what the kidneys when that's out and the lymph. But if the others are anything to go by, they really do what they say in the tin. So I know it's going to be very focused and extreme detox to that organ, like whatever
Yeah,
it's.
that's some very skilled herbalism to be able to target an organ like such.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah.
All of us in the community have experimented with herbs, but you can't really. I don't know. Does Daniel do some of the picking of the herbs? It sounded at one point like he kind of did.
Don't know.
He chose.
I don't know. You know, the advertising and the main story is that, of course, the tradition was started thousands of years ago. But current formulating, I kind of like it if he was involved, you know?
Yeah, because he did practice Chinese medicine. I think he is picking some of the stuff. I remember him saying something about the lung one. He said, I specifically chose these herbs for it. Wow, that's impressive.
Nice.
Wow. The dude, the founder, is picking some of the stuff. That's a nice image, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not literally like picking them like.
Oh,
fresh, just
chose.
choosing
Oh yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, he chose them. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the founder. Yeah, but he did merge with the people, I think.
Oh, he ran a restaurant and a qigong studio, something like this, and more. Yeah.
And he was approached, wasn't he? He was approached. There was other
exactly.
people involved in this, and he was the one that made it a bit more out there, thanks to
Mhm.
his whatever he's done. He's done something.
Yeah.
He's a Zen monk for many years
Right.
too. Yeah,
See.
but younger. See, he's older than he looks.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which goes
Wow.
to show like how good this product is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only is it clearing us out, it's keeping us young.
100%. Yep.
Mm.
I went to see
Yeah.
a few weeks ago the girl that had a fever through me on the Zencleanz One, and she's the thing is I hadn't met her for quite a few months, but I wish I was in her life a little bit more to know the difference, because when I met her she seemed very calm and collected. I remember her saying she does feel more chill weeks. This was a week and a half, 2 weeks after she'd done the cleanse. But yeah, when I met her, she was so calm and chill. I was like, is this your normal state, or is this the Zencleanz One that's knocked you in this chill mode? And I'm not sure. It might be, because for me, when I did Zencleanz One, I got way chill for like 2-3 weeks after. I was like, nothing bothers me as much externally. My nervous system had just calmed. Like,
I want to point out that, we kind of took a layer out of, that's literally what we did. We took a layer out of our intestines. And to me, that would be like, in a way, a little bit antibiotic, removing so much, right? But certainly I don't want any of what comes out of me from a Zen cleanse in there, so visually and, how I feel, it's clearly all better coming out. But it's just to think of myself as having a very clean internal gut GI, and that correlating with really happy feelings that I agree with Harry were like even more present in like the month after, and like and then my gut kind of got back to a little more homeostatic but lower vibration just through time and eating. But when I was pretty darn cleaned out, which to my mind would be not the most overgrown gut bacteria, I was feeling great. So I'm starting to worry about like too much probiotic supplementation, to be honest. And I'm starting to think that like antibiotic herbs might actually be good. Like not taking antibiotics, but like, antibiotic herbs. Just thanks for letting me explain all that, because it's an interesting example. Why are people so happy after they took a layer out of their gut? I thought we were supposed to have this really vibrant, gut GI that is like, we're putting money into to have more stuff in it, right? You see my point?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also,
So those that are
oh,
like
sorry, yeah.
doing,
Yes, I was gonna say,
those that are
and also,
doing,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
That's
Go
funny.
ahead, Harry.
We're so similar. So children too have clean guts, don't they, to a degree? Because they're born like with a perfect gut, and then
Yes.
what happens is they poo loads, and that's actually the wrong foods going in. Their parents feed them, and it just more or less doesn't get stuck. I think at childhood it starts to get stuck when you get into puberty. I'm just me thinking out loud. I might be completely wrong, but yeah, as a child, you have a pure intestine colon. Back to what you said, Matt. Maybe that's the kind of, we have this feeling of, oh my god, this is what it feels like to have pure colon for the first time in your life from Zencleanz, and this is what you always had as a kid. And then as you go through your puberty, it starts, the body for some reason starts not shitting it out properly. This crap. And actually, coming back to the last time we spoke, Nick, you said it. Eric said that like there's 20 pounds of feces stuck in everyone's colon, and to be honest, it's scary to just take a random person and see how much blockages they've got in their colon. Like that would be a scary thing to do.
Yeah, some people have 40, maybe 50 and 60 pounds.
Just depending, huh?
Yeah, I'd really like to get a camera pill, because you can get the ones that go into the large intestine.
Is that a coloscopy they call them? Is it that stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see those, and I've seen some videos of those, and yeah, there's caked on you can see green poo just right there.
Oh,
I really wonder what the small intestine looks like.
yeah. Do you know what we need to do, guys? We need an experiment with someone that buys from us or someone we know. Before, get a coloscopy done, like with the NHS, whatever you do the hospital thing. Get the coloscopy done before, let them do a Zen cleanse, and let's check in on the difference.
It's got to be the pill.
Groundbreaking.
We got to do the pill though. That's a whole thing. That's bigger than sticking a camera up the rear end. That's a camera you swallow. That's like expensive.
What's that, Matt? You got to swallow something. Sorry with this.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I heard vegetable police going on about it, being like, "Look, I can't go that far, but I know that Zencleanz works." he's been saying the same thing. It's like he should get a swallowable camera to.
How much do they cost, out of interest?
I don't know. He said it was a lot. That's all I remember. Oop, 1 second.
I'd do this experiment for you guys. I'd do this. Like, that sounds unique and niche and awesome.
Right?
Innit?
Maybe we should all fund a vegetable police. His attempt.
Exactly. Yeah. So can I ask, have you guys got any plans for doing any more cleanses? And
yeah.
which ones are on your mind?
I know. How much does one cost? We first need to just figure out what's one cost.
Or you
I
want to
really would like to try the long one next.
Cool.
That one's been on my mind.
I think that's a little bit
Are we
more
cutting
than.
out?
I think it's
Oh
$300.
yeah, he
now.
did for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about $300. I think the long one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to do the lymph one. I'm going to do the ultimate test because I still have swollen lymphs in my armpit. I've had them for my whole health journey. It's
Yeah,
like
and
my test for every supplement. Did my lymphs go down?
right. Well, we know, Nick, I don't know if we should talk about it here, but you did have an incident recently, which was kind of serious, right? So that there's some major stuff has come out of you, I feel, which is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the heck happened.
You don't have to share.
Hey,
but
are
if
we
you want to,
cutting
you
it?
can. You can share if you want. Here.
Yeah. Yeah, I just shared
Oh shoot.
on a
Yeah, you're cutting out.
show last night. We're not cutting out, are we?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Dang
Yeah.
it. Still cutting out.
It's better without the video, definitely. So you can try now.
Good now?
I think so. Give it a go.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I had a stroke. It was because lack of oxygen, because I wasn't breathing very much, and we're so high up on the back. I've actually heard people do get strokes more at very high elevation because there's less oxygen. And I think I woke up and I was stroking out.
Yeah.
And I think I just kind of held my breath all night.
Whoa.
And
And that must have freaked
it
Crystal
was
out.
like,
I mean, anyone would
yeah.
have freaked out having to see you go through this, yourself included, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was concerned because didn't really want to go to a Mexican hospital. I'm not one to even go to any hospital, and let alone one down here. So I'm glad we didn't have to go that route.
Yeah, my hospital was I just posted. Everyone can stretch and rub in the sun. I think that was like the best thing. We could go behind that. Do you hear the wind?
You're cutting out a little bit. We can get little bits of what you're saying.
Oh dang.
It's okay. I think you said you went in the sun. You went in the sun to help out when you were having a stroke.
Yeah. Rub in the sun. I did that.
Rubbing urine, yeah? Age urine?
Yeah, I think that was a good one. And then everyone was saying shots of cayenne pepper. So I had like how many?
Probably like 7
7 shots.
of like a heaping spoonful each.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one.
That's
yeah,
serious
then
business. Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we used all the TerraCare ones, and yeah, it's pretty weird. It was like a weird trip. I couldn't formulate my words at all.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
terrible.
That's bizarre. That's a proper stroke to me. I mean, the brain shuts down. You like
Yeah.
some part of it's gone.
Have you heard about
That's-
this vitamin E thing about people going into high altitude? They'll be taking a lot of vitamin E.
No, what happens to that?
Yeah. Apparently, like you'll see vitamin E bottles dropped on the paths up like Mount Everest and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it has to do so with free radical, like just plain old stress. I think because it's such a potent antioxidant, but it also seems to improve metabolism. So Yeah, that all speaks to like systemic stuff, like really broad stuff that like has to do with oxygen. So I really like buy this whole notion that it could be because he was at altitude, and then he's cultivating the prana and slipped into the kumbhaka.
You did, and
Held his
also
breath
Matt,
for
I
like
don't know if
what, 10 hours.
I don't know if you said, Nick, but you done the niacin flush, which, by the way, Matt, I've got to say, I mean, it's not your niacin flush. I understand that, but you have made it a bit famous and in my circles and our circles on Facebook, and I
Shucks,
appreciate your niacin flush a lot. It's very good, very
Thanks.
powerful.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I hope it helps people, and I think it'll become able to be like proven that it's a holistic practice that is systemically just a good thing.
It is. I've noticed the difference of it. And Nick, didn't you take it? You took it as well on that day? There's a link there with it.
The cayenne.
Yeah, the day before I took 400 milligrams and flushed really heavy, and then later I took that at about like 12 o'clock the day before my stroke. And then the day before also at like 5 or 6 o'clock, I took another 500 milligrams, which I don't think was the flush kind. I still don't know yet. But I took a total of 900 milligrams of niacin.
In one day. Is that a lot, Matt?
In one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a lot?
No.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too.
Yeah, so just while he's cutting out, I want to fill in one thing, if you all don't mind. That's why I'm being kind of assertive.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go on, Matt. Yep.
What I heard, poor Nick here, got cheap Mexican niacin, so we have no idea what the quality is there. But the thing is like, I believe his dosing of the niacin was pretty far away from the actual thing.
Scary amounts that can cause trouble, because I think
yeah,
your two pills gives you 666 mg of niacin, and I take 2 pills easy, no problem.
I label it by fucking 333 on the package. Not why'd you have to say 2? Makes it sound like I'm writing 666 on the packaging.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it! I read 333 milligrams of niacin
put there, yeah,
per pill, and let's see. Yeah, that I find is, possibly a little more than a beginner would want, because the initial prostaglandin release is so much, and I recommend animal aspirin with it to attenuate the prostaglandins. Doesn't inhibit the redox healing that is the essence of niacin, to cut down on this prostaglandin stress response histamine type thing. You can attenuate that with aspirin with no problem. But I'm forgetting what it was that we really were thinking happened to Nick, to be honest.
we're trying to work out the stroke, what caused it, and I just remember him saying a few things.
Something more than the oxygen. It was like he's been in the environment, right?
Right.
So what happened like day of?
Also, there was
can you hear us all right?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, yeah, we have internet going in and out here. There's people working on it, so. So he woke up, I don't know, probably like 8 a.m. and his right arm, his whole right side was numb.
Ugh.
And like, it felt like he couldn't like use it.
I felt like it fell asleep.
Yeah, like it was asleep. And then we went upstairs to use the TerraCare ones because Santos has like a few of them, so we could like use his whole body or do his whole body. And then in those moments, he wasn't able to like speak, like he was trying to like form sentences.
Fuck. Yeah.
But it wasn't making any sense. He was just using like random, incomprehensible words.
Wow.
It was really odd.
Yeah.
And then it went in waves. Like sometimes he'd be able to like form sentences, and it lasted for about 3 or 4 hours. At one point, the numbness went away on his right side and then went to his left side.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah. So that was weird.
So that's basically, is that guys the brain, the right and the left brain? Because they can control different parts of the body, I believe. Like the.
Yeah. So I think like because the red blood cells weren't like the blood wasn't getting enough oxygen, so
Sure.
perhaps they like clumped up, and this clot was like moving, trying to move the veins,
Yeah.
and got stuck at some point somewhere to make his right side numb, and then moved along, and then got stuck some point to make his left side numb. I don't know.
That makes
I don't
sense.
know. I hope.
Yeah.
I really hope it wasn't a blood clot. That sounds horrible.
Hey, and
Yeah.
Nick, can I ask you, like,
It
because
could have been.
Jill Bolt Taylor made it famous, the stroke on the left. She made it famous, the left and the right brain doing different things. Did you, Nick, have an experience of one consciousness when you, because the thing is, when you lose the left brain, which is all disconnection and talking and bullshit, you got the right brain only, and the right brain is all about soul and what we're going to experience after we die, which isn't a bad thing. Did you experience a taste of, like, you're not really caring, almost? I mean, you do care, right? But sometimes when the brains get muddled up.
Shoot.
Yeah, so when I woke up, I only had my right brain. And I think that's why I couldn't speak, because I didn't have my language center in my
Oh
left
goodness,
brain.
yeah.
It felt like I was on mushrooms, yeah, which would be pretty right brainy.
Ah, so you did feel an
Wow.
expansion of consciousness. Like, yeah,
Straight
right
up,
brain
straight
stuff.
up did
Huh.
experience that. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
So that book is like
yeah,
not a lie.
yeah. It was.
There's a pretty famous book I think Harry was referencing.
Yeah,
I think it's a TED Talk, Matt. I don't know if it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, wait,
yeah,
there was a
yeah,
book
yeah.
on it too. So
I
yeah,
didn't read it.
it's the most famous TED Talk it was the first TED Talk and the most million views, and it makes complete sense what she says. And it's what you experienced, Nick, a little
the
bit.
stroke one.
Yes, she had a left and a right
Wow.
brain. She had her left brain completely got a stroke in it, and the right brain was fine. But she couldn't do things like function and look after herself. But she didn't care in a way, because she just became all that is. She lost herself to what I guess we'd experience when we die. The non-duality aspect of life kicks in. When one brain shuts down, you could see the other one. So you got no choice but to live in this one. But then you can't talk, can you? You need your left brain for stuff. You need to live in this reality. You need to look after myself, protect myself, do things.
Yeah, it didn't work. Crystal asked me if I need my phone, and I said, What? What is it? What do you call it? Phone. I was like, that's what you call it?
That's funny.
I had no idea, dude. How's it going?
And he was like trying to type messages to
Oh.
people, and it was making no sense whatsoever. Like no
Yeah.
sense.
And then,
Interesting.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Crystal was watching me type once, and another time I typed my friend Peter from LifeWave. He had a stroke, and LifeWave helped him. And then I tried to message him, how long does a stroke last? And what I'd message was, hey, doing, hey, hanging, stroke, hanging, doing.
Right.
Dude, and I knew I was screwing up, but I took a few extra minutes, and I thought I tied all the loose ends up, but I thought I was like, all right, I got this now. And then like 4 or 5 hours later, I went back and looked, and I was like, whoa, that's way off.
Yeah. Surprise yourself how brain damaged you were, how much your brain was fucked at that moment in time.
It sounds like just like 3.5, 4 grams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it really was. Yeah, I'm so used to that state too. So I think a different person might have freaked out quite a bit more. But I was just like, oh no. I was like, you guys, I can't speak.
Mental experience to have. I wonder what would happen if you did took daily enzymes with Zencleanz or anything. Like, I mean, you did a lot of powerful things, but in these states, that's when we're put to the test with the power of the stuff that we know. And all of us here know loads of amazing health protocols. There are loads of amazing ones.
I'd love to tie 2 ideas together real quick. Dissolving cancer, dissolving clots. I think this is all within the purview of Zencleanz, right? And like we got that story with Daniel's mother, who survived cancer with the mushroom mycelia one, because the mushrooms have all those good anti-cancer, the turkey tail especially, I believe, right?
Mhm.
They got that compound mush. So the mycelia one like cured cancer already. We know that in like the CEO's mom. So that's pretty tight.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good stuff. Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's literally digesting your problems, right? It's freaking cool.
Nice.
Yeah, another thing that I think played into it is like the resonance where we're at, because people will come here and it's like super like
Are on
and then they'll just get space that they just can't handle the energy. So I think that's playing into
Ooh.
um
I look forward to testing it out, guys, when I come meet you.
going
I'll test that
on.
one out. See if that's true to me.
Yeah,
Like, I bet it will be.
yeah.
I think it puts you into detox mode because the energy is so high, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, their water is also really bad too. So I mean, if they too, then you could test it truly without encountering the city water here.
True. And you guys drink
Yeah.
that amazing Lord's hydro machine I'm gonna get. So that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we have spring water from a mountain around here, and it's RO'd. And then we distill it and then put it in the hydrogen machine. Sometimes we don't distill it also. So it's pretty good water. And then China with the terahertz.
Mhm.
But I wanted to add too, as soon as I woke up and I noticed I was having a stroke, you know, if I went to got on all my things right away and I didn't have all these things, Santos has like 4 or 5 terahertz guns. We have
Yeah.
one. So we like, as soon as I woke up, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, this is happening. So I went straight up to Santos's and we plugged all the terahertz in, and I had Crystal grab me a gallon of aged urine, and I
Nice.
just started chugging it. I drank like almost half a gallon. I don't know,
Nice.
a lot.
Dude,
So
you
if I
realize
wouldn't have
how
done
lucky you
that
are
right
to have
away, man,
you realize how lucky you are to
could've-
have a partner and people that know about stuff, and including yourself. Because imagine if you were just a normal person having the same situation.
Yeah.
You'd be fucked. Like,
you could have brain damage rest or you just die. Part of your brain.
Yeah, that's what
But
freaks me
yeah,
out, man.
yeah. The character seemed to neutralize the stroke right away, but
I heard
Yeah.
neutralizing.
oh, you only heard neutralize?
Yeah.
yeah, it's breaking in.
Oh, yeah. Dang. Well, our internet's pretty good recently, but today we're having the power is being worked on, so the Wi-Fi just got shut off. So now we're counting on the cell phone towers.
Bummer.
And I think this is
Ew.
going to cut for this. If you guys are
Yeah.
cool, we can redo another one or keep it to this and then do another one too.